Today's video, we're going to be making a tier list of all the Spider-Man and Venom movies. I'm not going to waste any of your time because this is probably going to be a long video. Let's go! Alright, so you've seen the intro, you know what we're doing. Ranking all the Spider-Man and Venom movies, and it's going to make some people very, very angry. Let's see. Okay, so first, Spider-Man 1. I really, really like Spider-Man 1. I think it's a great movie. Green Goblin, played by Willem Dafoe, great character. Story is great. There are some things that dragged it down a little for me. And it was comedic gold, to be sure. But did have some things that made it a little bit, low for me. Like, I know that some people absolutely adore this movie, and I think it's a great movie, and I'm gonna put it in A tier. Because A tier, it's not perfect, and it's not like a Citizen Kane Holy Grail type thing, and it's not and it's not anything lower than a B. So yeah, it's really good. SpiderMan II. Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this one. I don't like SpiderMan II. It is too boring to me. It's very uninteresting. I couldn't sit through the whole thing. I mean, like, I watched my first Spider-Man movie I watched was The Amazing Spider-Man, and then immediately after I watched Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, and I was like, this doesn't feel like a good movie. It has some iconic as shit scenes. The CGI is good in some places, is shit in others, but I think I'm gonna throw this in B tier. Sorry, guys. SpiderMan III. Fuck, I adore, like, this whole list right here makes me look like a contrarian. I promise I'm not. This is the most, like, insane movie to me. It's so off the rails, and it has some great moments. It has some absolutely hilarious moments. CGI is amazing. We have, the acting is pretty good. I think everyone does a great job. There are, like, some just deliberately insane moments that just make me laugh every time. You know the one I'm talking about. Yeah, but I think this is an easy S tier for me. No one agrees with that, and I know that it's kind of a poorly made studio interfered movie, but I love it so much, and this isn't based off of it. If it's a good movie, it's based off of my opinion. The Amazing Spider-Man, C tier. A lot of you probably want it to be D, and all I can say to that is it's not. It's not good comedy, and it's very boring. But the acting can be good, and the narrative is pretty good. I don't like everything about it. I don't think it's an amazing movie. But I think it is still one of my favorite. Oh, well, no, not one of my favorite. One of my all-time, like, when I think Spider-Man, this is gonna be the movie that I immediately jump to, because it's as I just said, it's the first Spider-Man movie that I ever watched. What's that down there? Ugh. Okay, so you all knew it was coming. I fucking hate Amazing Spider-Man 2. not an unpopular opinion right there. I think a lot of people hated all the shit about Peter's parents and I mean everything about the movie is so bland. There is like 2 decent scenes in the movie. One is the one where he saves that little kid from being bullied. That's normal Spider-Man stuff. Yeah, no, it's very, very bad. Electro is so uninteresting. They could have done so much with him, but they didn't. Max Dillon is one of my favorite villains, and they could have pulled so much shit off with this, and they didn't. The other good scene that I was gonna say was the montage of him, like, just doing normal deeds and then coming home, like, in shit. And there's a scene where he's at the grocery store and he's sick and he's like, I'm Spider-Man. The comedy stayed the same. It's still very uninteresting. I think Gwen's relationship with Peter is just out of this world, annoying chemistry. And there's also just some weird continuity errors. I mean, if you want to see, like, a really good continuity error type explanation on what I mean by that, go check out the Cosmonaut Variety Hours video. Go check out the Cosmonaut Varieties Hour video on this film series, because I think that's great. If you want to know what this movie could have been, go to Troy Oboyo 17's channel and check out their Amazing Spider-Man II rewrite, because I think that could have made an amazing movie, and that was one that I could rewatch and enjoy. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, guys. I'm gonna say it right now. I love this movie. Hang on. If I go up to my docs up here, I just clipped that a little bit, but I'll fix it. If I go to my docs, you got all the you have all the normal stuff in docs once it loads. Here's all the scripts that I want to do here, that I finished. I finished some of these, and like things like the FNAF series. I have two of the essays on that done. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I think I already started, because I own a copy of the script. Let's see, yeah, it's right here. And I really enjoyed that movie, and I'll definitely get back to that script at some point. But for the meantime, talking about it right here, it is a great movie. I think the pacing is amazing. The voice acting is top tier. The animation is fucking out of this world. I think the animation deserves... Didn't it win an Oscar? I'm so confused, did it? It won feature film at BAFTA and also Best Animated Feature Film. Yes, it won an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film. But the Oscar that it did win just goes to show you this movie is insane. Everything about this movie, the animation style, the writing, the pacing, the villain is so, like, you can really take that villain and twist him into one of the worst villains, but you really pulled it off. Bob Persichetti. After I saw the movie, I actually wrote a letter to Bob Persichetti, and he sent me back a bunch of merchandise, which I still own now, and it is some of my most prized possessions. So yeah, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse goes straight to S tier. Actually, top of S tier. Because it is the the best movie, and I'll go more in depth when my full analysis goes out. Or SpiderMan Homecoming is fucking bland. I love Tom Holland in this franchise. I think he makes a great Spider-Man, but honestly, I can't deal with this movie. It is truly, it's truly a lot of fun, but you can say that about a lot of bad movies. Like, it has some great moments. The ferry scene is great. The villain is so, I guess. And the pacing isn't that great. This is just my personal thing, but it is just like Spider-Man and his wacky hijinks, but I can't find this movie interesting at all. I mean, I would watch The Amazing Spider-Man over this one. Like, the acting by Tom Holland again is great, but like, some of this is just so very uninteresting. It's not an F-tier movie. Like, we don't talk about Bruno over here. But it is a D tier. Far From Home I like a lot more. Far From Home I ended up seeing 3 times in theaters. And let me just say, each of those times, it did not get worse. I love Jon Favreau in this movie. The acting is top tier. Mysterio is fucking ballistic in this movie. Yeah, I mean, he is actually a good twist villain. He is a twist villain done right, I'd like to think. So yeah, that in that regard, that puts this movie at B tier for me. No Way Home is a love-hate relationship for me. On one hand, I like it. It's a good Spider-Man movie. And on the other hand, it's first time I saw it, it was baffling how good it was. But that's because of all the build-up, I think. Second time I watched it, yeah, still really fun, a wild ride. And third time I watched it, I was like, yeah, it's getting a bit old. Like, I can watch Far From Home 3 times and enjoy it. I can watch No Way Home 3 times and still find some fun in it, but I just like all the acting. Acting is great. They definitely redeemed Electro in my eyes. The idea that Peter doesn't have to hurt all these villains is really good. So I'm gonna put this movie at the top of C tier. Venom I love. Venom is just a wacky, fun movie. It's not trying to be the epitome of superhero films, but you can just feel that Tom Hardy is having a great time, like, making this poster that is being shown on the screen. It's like Tom Hardy is angry and Venom is smiling. It's not that dark. It's really just wacky and funny and just stupid, and I love it. So, bottom of B tier. I think I don't have much to say about this movie, but it is really just, it's not a good movie, but it's great to watch. Like, if you have an hour and a half of free time, watch this movie, you won't regret it. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage is better than the first one. Not by a lot. I felt like, while all the action and CGI in this movie is very good, I think it is, I watched it twice in theaters, and then again on digital, so each of the times I was like, yeah, I mean, this is a great movie, and, it's definitely an Andy Serkis film. The characters are great. Woody Harrelson is fucking awesome. Tom Hardy again, great job, man. You still seem to be having a bunch of fun with this franchise. They did Venom dirty. Like they did this whole thing at the end of Venom 2, where they were building up to something happening in No Way Home with Venom, and then he shows up in a post-credit scene only to get teleported back. So yeah, I mean, wasted potential in No Way Home again, but still, it doesn't drag down Venom 2 at all. I think the main problem is it's longer than the first one, but this one feels so short. Like, I felt like, you know, we could have Venom and Carnage meet up once or twice more before having the final battle. I'm not sure. I just think that I could have, there's like a lot more shits and giggles that I could have gotten out of this movie. But again, bottom of A tier, top, just great movie. And that's my Spider-Man tier list, guys. I'm posting it to Twitter if you want to see it. That's at Movies Venomous. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!